How you do, cousins? It's Rusty. Why should you watch this video today? I'm going to tell you. I went out yesterday sourcing and I came out with some awesome stuff. Not only did I come out with awesome stuff, it was a first for me with some of the things I've found. I've never found them before. I knew they existed. I've come across them and bought them, but not like this. I want to talk to you about that. I want to show you my process, and then I'll show you close up what I'm talking about. Full disclosure, it's going to be a lot of postcard stuff. It's going to be a lot of jewelry stuff. If you don't like that stuff, I totally understand. But even if you don't like it, if you want to learn about it and find out how to make some money off of it, I'm going to show you right now. Let's go find some treasures. Rolling into this large antique mall I haven't been in quite a while, and boy, look at this. I mean, there was just tons of these coins and all kinds of cool stuff in this place. I wanted to just kind of show you this. I didn't buy any of these. I'll look for Morgan dollars at times, but they need to be Carson City ones, and it's hard to find good deals on those in the antique stores. But I'm just showing you as I head towards the back. There's so much. I didn't have a ton of time, but I was not even prepared for what I was going to find. Guys, I knew that there was a couple of vendors in here that had postcards. I hadn't been in a while. I thought maybe I'd show some of this costume jewelry here in the front, this and that. I was wondering, maybe I'll find a bag or a lot of some stuff I can come out of here with. And guys, I was blown away at what I found. I mean, just take a look at this. I'm rolling down through the aisles. I get to the very back, and then boom, here we are. Baskets full. And then I turn around in the far back corner, and I mean, it's hard to read and really explain, to be honest. All right, guys, I'm over here. There's the postcards. I got these right here to go through. I'm going through little bits at a time. I just pulled out a couple of, different Santa Claus ones. They're $4 a piece. That's not great, but I might get them since they're the same. And then I pulled out this, which I think might be a Schmucker card. I'm not sure exactly. It's similar in his style, and it's also, it definitely is a winch card. And then this one, real picture postcard. I don't know if these guys are wrestlers, football players, or what, but that right there, guys, $4. Definitely gonna make some money on that one. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I can't get through all these. Hope I can find my way back. Only halfway through this first bucket here, and I already found some winners, guys. This is political campaign literature. Someone advertising for a campaign. This one says it's a bunch of kids at a normal class of 1910. Got some gentlemen here at the beach. Some more political stuff. My latest portrait of me. Guess who it is? Goodness gracious. And this is the crowbar. It's where they get stewed. Folks, this is what I came home with, and I am just tickled to death. I am not kidding you, folks. Several things happened on this particular trip to get these postcards. First off, I have never once been out and found Halloween postcards in large lots that have not already been identified and priced as such. I came out with 3 today. These both, not only are they vintage, original Halloween postcards, but they are artist signed. This is by Francis Brundage, as you can see right there. Now, the condition could be better, obviously. There's some creases here on the corners and stuff, but it says 1910 by Francis Brundage. There's the boy with the little pumpkin and the black cat, and then here's a little girl and a little boy, also Francis Brundage, which is an artist in the early 1900s that Halloween postcards. And then this, which is technically a Thanksgiving card, because it says Thanksgiving greetings. But look how creepy that pumpkin looks like. This, to me, is what they probably would call a crossover card, where It definitely could fit in probably both the Thanksgiving category, since it says Thanksgiving, but also maybe people who like the creepy Halloween postcards. So I went ahead and got this too, just because I've never come across that before. Some other categories we've talked about recently, guys, and I'm going to go through some of them right here. Here's a category would be considered Black Americana, which is depictions of African American folks around turn of the century, which are a lot of times, either racist or just insensitive for sure. This one has a couple of children here dressed up like adults. It says, "I don't want you, want a million, Jezia my sugar lump," and it's like they're not talking correctly. Inappropriate. And then we've got this here. It says, "I want to see you," and it looks like an individual, like a tribal individual here with a club and a caricature with large lips and stuff. Again, racist, stereotypical, and insensitive. This one here, we got this gentleman, Old Black Joe. Well, I don't think he probably cares to be called Black Joe, but I don't think he had any say in it. I don't think they asked him. Here's some native individuals, native Hawaiian men out spearing fish and netting fish. It's kind of honestly a cool scene, and this may not be considered racist, but anytime you see depictions of individuals from other countries, particularly those in what would be considered developing countries, there's a market for that. And then finally here, Bobby's Flirtation, the Tramp's Opportunity. And so, you've got this individual here. This is not necessarily an African-American man, but it's bizarre. I've never seen this before. You got a woman in the background there. You got this child in fur, in looks like a stroller, and then this man with some sort of like I don't know what's happening here. He's dressed up. Bobby's Flirtation. I don't know, folks. It was bizarre, and so that's why I got it. Here's a category that would be considered sports. We have some vintage postcards of soccer, which you call it in the States, or football. A header into the goal. Well saved. He punches him in the head here. And goal. Hits him in the head again. So these would go together. I would sell these probably together in a lot because they are from the same series. So sports, vintage. Guys, this was phenomenal. I have never seen this before. I knew that these were big in like the 80s. I did not know that these things had been around since the early 1900s. On the back here, this is postmarked 1907. Did you know that they had these little, you can scratch them with your thumb, 2 different pictures. It says, "I must love someone, so why not you?" And they're kissing. It's like a crude drawing. It's what they call a puzzle postcard. I've not seen a single one of these on eBay. Never seen one before. Really cool to find that. So we've got Halloween, which are very valuable. We've got Black Americana. We've got sports. We've got a puzzle postcard, which is rare. This would be considered a real picture postcard. It's a real child, but it's real photograph paper, as you can see. But it has since been hand-painted, hand-tinted. So the balloons and the dress is kind of like a matte color, but the balloons are kind of glossy. Beautiful, I think. Just a cool thing. A kid supposedly being held up in a basket by helium balloons. Really cool. That's postmarked 1908. So I picked that one up. Here is a political postcard. It's an original one, 1908. This is a political advertisement for Brian and Kern. For president, I believe. Really interesting. Moffat Studios in Chicago, let the people rule. All right. Really cool. It says, "Dear Francis, after these 2 men are, let's see, what does it say? Vacated in Washington, be waiting to take that telephone ride to Chicago. Yours." And they don't even have to put the zip code or any of that stuff. Miss Frances Robbie of Newville, in, what is that, in Wells, Colorado? Indiana? Something like that. Wells County, Indiana. Look at that. So, it's just a county. Awesome. Over here, this is another kind of military-based or war effort. My latest portrait, it's just me. Guess who it is? And he's got a gas mask on. This is definitely, I'm thinking this is going to be circa World War I. Would that be true? Maybe this World War II. Probably World War II, I guess, maybe. I actually don't know, but I'll have to look that up. But that's really interesting. I don't see those hardly ever. I picked this up, guys, for a couple reasons. One, they're real picture postcards. You can see by the shimmer there, it's gone through a photographic chemical process. But it's the same kid, and there's some interesting things. So if you look close, this is a little girl, and she's in her old dress there, and she's just napping. And so probably a parent thought it was cute, went up and took a photograph. I like it because they go together. It's the same girl, but just look around this girl. Look at the bed she's sleeping on. Look at the pattern. Look at the pattern of the wallpaper on the wall. And look at all the stuff that's hanging there. She's got like something wooden there in the middle that looks like a little bowl on the left. There's like netting and then little other photographs, maybe like cabinet cards hanging up there of maybe family members or people. And I don't know what over here on the right. But this was a child's room. She got to hang up her little toys and her little stuff on the wall there. Really cool combo. I'll sell those together. 3 more really cool categories here, folks. We'll start off with natural disasters. I've talked about this recently. If you haven't seen it, guys, we've got an entire playlist on postcards and certain categories and things. I just released one about certain ones that are valuable and categories, not only about picture postcards, but those categories would also apply to other types of things as well, things of interest, and you can find them in scrapbooks a lot of times. This one says, ruins along Kearney Street after the disaster on April 18, 1906. This would be the earthquake that happened. And you can see this is from 1907, but it's coming from San Francisco, where the earthquake occurred. It's got that stamp right on the front there that's been canceled. Here we have effects of earthquake in front of the post office in San Francisco. So the same earthquake, look at that road, guys. Look at the bricks, and look how they've just been, it looks like a ripple of water there. 1906 is the year it happened. RPO, that means that this was done on either at a railway post office. That's what RPO. So it was done either on a train or at a train station. It was canceled, believe it or not. It's pretty cool. Those are together. Then fleeing from the city of San Francisco, look at that rubble. And just look at the shell of buildings that have fallen. 1906 RPO as well. These must have been together. They were both canceled at a railway post office. Then what you got here is it says April 14th, 1935, a black blizzard closing in on the prairies. This is from Dodge City, Kansas. And just look at that coming, that sandstorm or this big tornado, a black blizzard. So it's debris. It's coming from a tornado there in Kansas. Roughback was probably in a scrapbook or something at one point in time, but look at that, September 27, 1935. And you can read about that storm in that message there. Right here, we have some sort of disaster where there was probably a storm, probably a tornado. Again, it's blown a house down or a building down, multiple buildings over train tracks there. And it says, the Creamery Ice House. So this was a creamery and an ice house that got knocked over, and you can see a bunch of men right here standing there posing over the rubble, the debris there. And here's another one, some more rubble and debris that has happened right here by a river, probably another tornado that happened. Here is another one of a man standing just in debris. Again, probably a tornado that blew that down, or a hurricane of some kind. And then finally, a flood of 1913 in New Martinsville, West Virginia. And this is photo number 7, it looks like, of maybe a series of photos. This is in the middle of a town. 1913 flood. Guys, well, I'll say it in a moment. Okay, moving on from these, another category of interest is old horse and buggies. Old automobiles or old modes of transportation from before automobiles, so trains and horse and buggy. Here we have Mrs. W.C. Howland and her driver, Estevan. So we got Estevan there doing the driving, and we got a couple women with big old hats on, horse and buggy, really kind of cool looking. And then we've got this one, which is another man and a buggy being pulled by a couple of horses, and you got a woman there in the background by someone's residential home. And then finally, another really nice one. You've got this man in a hat. You've got this cool buggy with his big whip there to whip out the horse to get it going. And then just look how this horse is dressed. What a nice setup. Really cool. Those, I've sold a couple of these in the last week for $20 a piece. So those are good investments. Last category I'm going to talk about on this little snippet. Look at this, guys. It's a balloon. It's a dirigible. These would be, here's a hot air balloon. Okay. Look at this one. Is same kind as that. It's going over a city, a town. Here's a close-up of it, and look at the man on it. He's way up there. Good night. That's incredible. And then this here too. I'm assuming that these four go together and that this one may be a separate, but I found them in the same lot. Guys, I've never found one of these out in looking. I've never found them before. I found 5 of them in this lot. And guys, I found all these, and all these I just showed you. And there's more to come, folks. I'm going to do another video just on this stack here and here. I've separated these out. They're all real picture postcards. The difference is that this stack involves individuals, people, and this stack involves scenes or sites. Guys, I bought 160 postcards yesterday from one vendor at an antique store, and I paid around $470. Now, that's a lot of money. I paid up for these guys because I found so many good deals. I just was beside myself with excitement. And if you like postcards, you want to learn more about them, guys, look for this video. It's going to be coming out next week. Let's go make some money. It's Rusty. I got a project I'm doing, but first I'm going to run in this estate sale real quick and just see, is there something I can make a buck on or not? Come on with me.
Oh, this is what that donation goes to.
All right, this is what I came out with today, guys. It was a 20% off day. I didn't go out there on the first day this week. I waited around because I did my preview and I didn't see anything that I felt like I needed to get up super early in the morning to get. But I was willing to wait, and I'm glad I did because I got these and I got them 20% off. First thing I got here, guys, is this pair of earrings. This is a floral kind of design. It's etched, different colored beads and stones. I think that they're basically ceramic. And then you can see on the back here, these are drop dangle earrings, but they're clip-ons. And the brand says Vogue, J-L-R-Y, Vogue Jewelry. And so that's a nice kind of rare pair gold tone. I've never found this type before in that brand. And so I looked them up. They sell decently. Next up, we've got this. This is basically an late 1800s, like circa 1890s brooch with what would be considered it's glass. It's an amber colored glass, faceted cut. It's got this filigree design around, kind of floral and beaded, very kind of definitely a Victorian era with these little other faceted stones here on the end. If you flip it over on the back, which is always what you're supposed to do, you see that it's fairly minimal on the back, but it is open so that the stone in the middle has air. It could be cleaned up, it'd even be brighter than that. And you can see that there's this brass color of what it's made out of, except for the pin itself, and that is made out of silver. So you can see the difference in color. It has been soldered on here, and it is a different type of metal. It is made out of silver. Adds a little bit of value. Very kind of cool, very pretty color, an amber color. It's beautiful, and that was a pretty common type back during that era. These two pieces are next. I'll show you. They're similar, and part of the reason they're similar is that they're made by the same manufacturer. That would be the Trifari brand. The downside about these is just that you can note here the little dark hole there in the center, and then over here, it's missing a couple stones. These are not hard at all, guys, to repair. You can find any sort of worthless piece of costume jewelry or broken jewelry. You just try to find a stone that's roughly the same size and roughly the same color. So if you have a brooch that's got kind of yellowed colored white stones, you want to get a yellowed color stone. If you have one that's more of a bright white, then look for the bright white. I use just a clear fingernail polish, believe it or not, something that is kind of like, that just, it dries and it's kind of hardens and it's a clear coat. I drop a little bead of that underneath, stick it down in there, let it dry, and poof, you're done. This is a really cool piece, circular. Here's one of a leaf, same thing, it's missing a couple stones, but I'll repair those before I list them. But here's the brand, folks, if you can see it, Trifari. And if you notice above the T, it has a crown, so these would be considered the Crown Trifari. Crown Trifari just denotes that it was made earlier on during that company's history when Felipe, I believe his name, was one of the designers. And he's a beautiful gold tone rhinestone. I expect that I'll sell each of these for somewhere between $60 and $100. Right here, we've got this awesome little cameo style designed brooch and or pendant. You can see it can be a pendant up here, or it can be a brooch with that pin. It is a ceramic back, or a ceramic centerpiece. It has a black lacquer paint on the top of it, and then someone has hand painted these beautiful roses and daisies there, and those leaves. Very pretty, not scratched, in really good condition. It's mounted in the same way that a typical cameo would be mounted. It's a brass kind of color, but based on the shimmer of it, I suspected that it was gold-plated or gold-filled. And when I kind of fiddled around with it, I noticed right here on the bottom, if I flip it around, kind of zoom in there, maybe you can see it if I turn it the right way. Yep, it says 1/20th 12-karat gold-plated. So this has got a gold plating on the base metal, something like that. They range in price, but I'm going to set mine up pretty high as a buy it now and accept offers and just kind of see what happens. And then lastly, folks, kind of the belle of the ball here, the winner of the prize is this beauty. Again, that beautiful amber-colored glass stones. You can tell by the weight of it that it's glass and not plastic. If you flip it over, it's really nice. They've got an open window for that main big stone. And then right here, if I zoom in, it's the Weiss brand. I love this. Weiss, Coro, and Trifari are probably my three favorites. They always sell well. I always make money on them. Just look at the way that this one right here is cut with that post that goes down through the center of it, holding it in place. It's just cut to just really reflect that light. It's gorgeous, folks. I don't wear these myself, but I can tell when I'm looking at something that's cheap and something that's pretty nice and higher end. This thing's, folks, if I wait long enough, could fetch me $300, maybe $400 for this one. And it is costume. Guys, there's no gold or silver on this. It's glass. It's not gemstones. But these are harder to find in this kind of condition. The brand is highly sought after, highly collected. This was nice. Guys, I paid $47 today for all of this jewelry. I will sell each one of these, maybe not the earrings. These might be closer to $40, but I will not take less than $50 for any of the rest of these. I'm expecting, let's see, 50, 50, 50, 150, 2, 5. I would expect that I'll make $500 in sales off of these, and that was a $47 expense. So multiples of, if I pay $50, I want to make 10 times that. That's $500. Not too horrible for a quick peruse of the second day of the estate sale. Thanks, guys, for sticking around this long. I hope you learned something. If you haven't done it yet, guys, go check out one of our playlists on postcards, on jewelry, and all kinds of other stuff out there, guys. It'd really help us out. Take care. See you next time.